it. So the Kenneth Arnold one is like right here.
Oh, I got you. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's the first like well-known one that like occurred where somebody said flying saucer in the paper itself, and he was flying around in his biplane and stuff, and they said that he was seeing something. He said it moved like a he said like a saucer skipping on water is how he said it moved around. But he didn't say it looked like a saucer. He said it moved like it was skipping on water, like if you threw a saucer. So they published it saying he saw flying saucers, and that's what led to a lot of the stuff like Roswell, it getting published there, that they found a flying saucer because it kind of blew up. It became this whole thing. It went viral, actually.
Right,
like old school going viral, you know?
That's crazy. A bisexual airplane.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, a biplane. Yeah.
That was pretty progressive for the time.
I know. I was shocked. It's a little ahead of their time, but you know,
It's got two engines.
We could be proud.
It's got two engines, one for business, one for pleasure.
But yeah, so that was like the first real incident where the term flying saucer got brought up, and so Roswell was very shortly after that. That's why they got even kind of mixed around right there. But right here is a description of what he said it actually looked like. He got an artist to draw it up here, that picture right there.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's like the picture of what he said it actually looked like, because he got someone to draw it for him.
That's a boomerang.
I know, it looks like a stingray, dude.
Like a batarang, bro. I mean, honestly, bro, that looks like a spy plane, though. You know what I mean?
Like a bomber.
Those are the motherfuckers that took Steve Irwin, and I'm not down.
Space stingrays, dude. Fuck.
You know, it was a coordinated effort. They're like, how can we topple this entire timeline in one fell swoop? And they took Steve Irwin, and look at what we've got.
Damn.
Look at what we've got.
Is that where the timeline split? Or I thought it was Harambe.
Hey, that was another critical moment, but they keep putting them down is the thing. They could have changed humanity. But
dude, you ever see the picture where it's George W. Bush meeting Harambe's mom?
Yeah,
What?
it goes deep. It goes deep. Yeah, yeah.
We got to get into that where it's like George W. Bush hanging out with Harambe's mom. I'm not even kidding.
That's insane.
In like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
He's like at the, whatever it was like the Chicago Zoo, I think, or one of those. Or like, Cincinnati, maybe it was.
He was like, your son is going to change history.
Fucking marked.
That's
Damn,
crazy.
bro.
And yeah, we'll have to do a separate episode about. We should just do an episode about Harambe, dude. Just a shout out to Harambe.
It's a cruel fate. So, do you think the woman was paid to then, you know, like she changed the course of history by not paying attention?
The woman?
I think it's just
the mother of the child.
Oh yeah,
it was a canon event. It had to happen.
Yeah,
right.
Unavoidable. So
Damn.
Right.
He had to go.
She was a CIA asset, maybe.
Harambe's mom was a CIA asset.
No, the mom
of the kid who fell in.
Yeah.
Oh, the mom of the kid who fell in.
I think it's just like they radicalized her to be a bad parent, you know?
That doesn't take that much work.
It doesn't. It's easier than like trying to get somebody to go, you know.
It was
to
only
the
a
mall.
matter of time, yeah.
Shoot.
That'd be crazy. There's time travelers going back in time to try and save Harambe, but just no matter what they do, the time loop goes on anyways. It's a canon event.
The time loop must go on.
It's pretty tough, man.
The
We don't want
self-collapsing.
the whole fabric of the universe to crumble because we saved a gorilla, right?
Man.
He's a hero. He's
Absolutely.
he's an icon.
Hey,
That's-
shout out to all the chimps that they sent into space too. The Russians.
Oh, dude, and the
That
dogs,
really-
and
yeah.
the dogs too. They sent a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did that.
And they live on in our hearts and our dreams.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
It's kind of terrifying, actually. I wish they would stop.
It's pretty fucked up, you know. Yeah. But anyways, so this became such a cultural phenomena, though. It became a big deal. You got newspapers reporting on it. Okay, so actually, real quick, scooch over real quick. So they said it was a weathered balloon, and boom, to the left here,
Oh, this one?
Project Mogul actually was happening at this time, and it was a pretty secret. It was a top secret program because they were putting balloons super high up with microphones on them to try to see if they could hear like bomb testings, allegedly, is what they said. But yeah, they were doing spy balloons at the time. They were like 100%.
Nice.
So
nice.
what I've noticed too when I was doing like this kind of research is there's a pattern of UFO kind of discussion coming up during times where there's like different aerial technology like being developed too. Which, I mean, I think is pretty obvious. That's fair if you don't want to tell anybody about a crazy new plane or something you got. Like, it's like, play up the aliens or play up the... But again, even at this point yet, though, nobody knew what was up. They didn't think it was aliens yet. They said flying saucer, and they're like, sure, a flying saucer is a flying saucer. What's that? I don't fucking know, you know?
You guys ever see that Scooby-Doo episode where they think there's a UFO, like, terrorizing what's probably, like, New Mexico or Arizona or something, and... it's just a fucking dude with a helicopter, and he has like a thing strapped to the bottom side of the helicopter to make it look like a UFO.
Oh my god,
that sounds like a classic. Is it from the original series, or is
I'm
it from
pretty sure. Yeah, it was
I'm
like
pretty sure I've seen that one before.
yeah.
I'll be down to watch that episode.
Yeah,
Bro. That
fuck
sounds
with
classic.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
dude, let's go get high and watch Scooby-Doo.
Old
after this.
Scooby-Doo's the shit,
Let's
dude.
do it.
I love old Scooby-Doo. Like, this is basically, too, this is intro to UFO lores. Pretty much anything on this list could have a whole goddamn video made about it itself. So this is intro to UFOs, reacclimating into doing the Zudecast. So, you know, dipping our toes in, getting beamed up.
Yeah, well, and you know, like, in the next few months, there's probably going to be more stuff that comes out about this with all these hearings and all these whistleblowers starting to come through. And they're not even really whistleblowers. They're kind of just disclosing stuff. They're like,
just why now is the question.
That is the question, man, because it's, I mean, it's like, what are they trying to distract us from? Yeah, like Hunter Biden's cock or whatever. Like, you know, they're trying to distract us from all sorts
I think
of
it's
shit.
even bigger than Hunter Biden's cock. I think it's definitely the global shifting of power. We talked about money. We talked about the fucking unicorn, and we talked about all that. So, but also with AI and the way all that, how fast that's moving, they're like, might as well just roll out the fucking sick jets. Might as well roll out the flying cars. You sent me the video of the flying car the other day.
Yeah, but that is a far cry from flying saucer technology.
Well, I haven't seen the flying car, wouldn't
There's a flying car now.
Yeah, it's essentially got like a mostly mesh chassis, and then there's a orb sort of that sits in the middle, which is the cockpit. It has the general form factor of like a modern car, but it can like rise up in the air and fly like sideways, or you know.
Do you saw like an actual video of it, or is it like a concept?
Yeah,
art?
no, this is the first car to have FAA approval for human testing, and it's gonna hit the air.
So it
spaces.
it drives like a car, but then you can take off.
Yeah, it just essentially has two giant main fans on either side of the cabin, and I'm sure it has some smaller like articulating fans to help it navigate. But
That's
pretty
nuts.
wild,
So wait,
bro.
it's not like jet propulsion. It's just like
it's just
like the real
drone
speeder
tech.
on Tatooine in real life.
Yep.
The land
It's
speeder
it's almost like
we're
a
here.
Florida hovercraft too. You know how it just like fucking pushes off the water lightweight, you know, like along the water.
Yeah, that relies on creating a small buffer of air resistance underneath the craft, but this is just like drone level technology. It's basically a drone that you can fly.
Right.
Yeah.
Bobby, weren't you saying something too about the it just so happened like right after the hearing or right around the same time they made some crazy breakthrough or announced that in the what's it called?
Talking about LK99,
I don't know
the
what's that.
superconductor.
Yeah, where it's like they're able to achieve
Nuclear fission.
what's it
right?
called at like a normal temperature.
It's a superconductor that works ambient pressure at room temperature. So
Right.
normally to get something to work at that capacity, it has to be super pressurized and super cold. Like most superconductors are, from what I remember, colder than space, basically just
Right.
open empty space.
Because I remember that video from a few years ago where it was just a little like floating kind of circular, you know, like this size kind of thing, and it was like a superconductor, and it was super cold, like, and it would just be like levitating in air, but it was just like a really tiny version of that.
Yeah, so the reason this is like a huge deal is superconductors in general, right? One of the main byproducts and the reasons why they're so curious is that they can essentially push magnetic fields around them. Magnetic fields tend to penetrate like through objects, but this can essentially wrap itself in between magnetic fields and hold itself in position. So you can freely like move something and just have it levitate. Essentially, it
Right.
looks like it's levitating.
Yeah,
But-
or I got this, or there was like this video from like a year or so ago. I can pull
Right.
that up real quick.
So what they usually do is they'll dip the superconductor in liquid nitrogen
Yeah.
or something, keep it cold, and then they'll have like a Mobius strip track or something.
It looks like the size of like a hockey puck. Here, I got